anything positive to put out or to draw from. And
Yeah.
Stephen Covey says it this way in his teachings, in his books, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is that, you are who you connect to. I mean, we tell our young people all the time is that, be careful about who you hang around with, or make sure that you are with people who are going places. Okay. And so those principles and the teachings that we have taught, for those of us that are parents, and how we were parented, is that if you want to be on an elevator to success, then you want to ride up with people who are going up. If you want to go down to the dungeon, then you're going to hang out with the people who are going down to the dungeon. So birds of a feather, what? Flock
Flock
together.
together.
And
You know,
so
Teresa,
it's very simple. It's a simple philosophy.
Yeah.
And for those of us who are believe that like spirits attract one another,
Yes.
then you have to be careful, and your spirit will be sensitive enough when you are in a room, like Mama used to say. You know what? When you're in a place and it just don't feel right,
Feel
that's your
right.
spirit telling you that this is not a good space for you. And you need to listen to your spirit. The energy is not good in that space.
Yeah.
And you need
right.
to listen, and it's time for you to leave. So, that's what I say about it, is that sometimes we don't even know what that unction is in us. And they sis or our grandmother, what those of us in the church would call it the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. That's just unctioning you to do a certain thing. But I think it's all lives in the same space. It's
Yes.
energy.
Yes.
Yeah, but if we can add some scientific terms, the law of attraction is a metaphysical force. It's akin to the force of gravity. It's just as as a gravitational pull exists between the sun and the planets to hold them in continuous orbit. The law of attraction is just between a person's beliefs and behaviors. If you believe you're capable of achieving your dreams, you're inspired to pursue those dreams. But if you believe you're incapable, there will be no limits, or there will be no reason for you to inspire to go to action. Saruska, do you believe that?
I believe that. I believe that. I believe that you can do anything you set your mind to do. You can do anything. You can say it, whatever you believe. You can achieve. It's as simple as that. And but one more step further than that, that a lot of people have not connected to, is more than just belief. And then let's break down what belief is. When you really believe a thing, you internalize that thing, and you really feel that thing. It's just like learning to love unconditionally. To learn to love unconditionally, you have to internalize that, to love from inside out. To actually love. So the same thing is with belief. You got to believe inside out. You got to truly say that this thing is real. What I speak, it is. You have to truly believe that. So, um,
And you have to
then, yeah,
believe with
you can speak
conviction.
those things out. I believe, truly, I believe, and I have been trying to work on certain, because what's connected to belief are emotions, and I spoke on that last time we got together and talked about it. Is feeling a thing. So it's more than thinking a thing, but it's also feeling that thing. How does that thing that you want to do, or seek to strive for, that goal, how does that make you feel? So
Hmm.
you got to feel that thing, and that's all a part of believing.
Well, the law of attraction acts, as a magnet for between your dreams and actions, that you take, that you realize. So when you think about, dreaming, and when you think about things that you want to achieve in your life, it starts with thought. It starts with having a systematical list of things that you want to accomplish. It may be relationship, it may be job, it may be weight loss, it may be getting that new vacation home, but you have to lock in, and you have to attune to that particular frequency, because everything is energy. Everything is energy. And when you can connect at that level, and you have to look at it that way, you start to realize that, wow, I'm able to, match my frequency with that of other people who can help me get where I want to go.
That's a good point that you say that, because we're not radio, so we can't get to a point where the stack is, well, oh yeah, here we are. But that's why the feeling thing is important, because when you elevate and get yourself in a space where you realize that you've elevated and you're there, I'm at a higher vibration, or I'm at a higher place in what I believe, then that puts you in a different frequency. So that's how you get it. I just want to explain that to people that don't understand frequencies and all that.
People who believe in their ability to change and learn new things accomplish higher grade point averages, than those with fixed mindsets. That's just a fact. Another scientific principle known as mirror neurons occurs when we observe someone doing something and our brain mirrors that, then so that we feel like we're also doing the same thing. If we surround ourselves with successful people, then we mirror that. We feel like we're successful too. That's another level of understanding on how you use the law of attraction. It's about who you're around, the way you think, mirroring successful people, thinking about being successful, and acting upon that as if you were already in that place. Tosca, have you ever had a situation like that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's, if you want to, and again, I go back to the analogy of birds of the feather flock together. If I'm trying to fly high like an eagle, I'm not going to be hanging out with chickens. you know and
That's
and so it absolutely has everything to do with, if you are wanting to elevate to a certain level, then the thing to do is to find out who is where it is that you want to be, who's already there. The thing that concerns me the most is when you have someone that is trying to, convince you that you could do X, Y, and Z and become a millionaire, and they are not there yet.
Listen, people,
So it's like
brain,
if I had a dime for everybody to say, you know what, if you put your money over here, then everybody's making being a millionaire in 60 days and 90 days or whatever. And then when I say, well, how does that work for you?
where your receipts. Show your
Please
receipts.
show me your
right?
receipt. So
Continuing on this scientific tip, I'm gonna let y'all just bring it on home. But did you guys know that brain imaging also has shown that areas of the brain involved with this intention and action are very closely connected? I mean,
absolutely. I
continuously
mean,
something magical happens, and that magic sometimes is your intention to activate your brain to achieve that thing. There's strong evidence that the scientific answers to what is the law of attraction and does it work is a definite yes.
yeah, so it's so much that we don't know about the brain and brain mapping. I remember when when children are diagnosed, or they say that you have ADHD. I'm an adult with ADHD, but there's a brain mapping process that it's so fascinating how your emotions are connected, have everything in your brain. Our mother, mom with dementia and subsequent Alzheimer's. And so in the support groups, we learned that the brain is like a house. And so when you are stricken with dementia or Alzheimer's, and you have a house with a house full of lights on, and just imagine that that's your brain, and the functions of your brain would be like light switches. And so every time, one light switch at a time, your brain is not doing what it's supposed to do. And so the brain is so fascinating. And then knowing that it's connected to your emotions, and then your emotions are connected to your health and well-being. So recently I learned that there are certain emotions that you have that's happening in your brain that can be directly linked to inflammation on a certain organ in your body. That's how powerful God has wired our brain and has made us. You know what I mean?
But I
I,
gotta tell you, I want to add to that, because also the brain is so powerful in such a way that we can imagine. Just think about athletes. We can imagine lifting a weight with our mind, and then an actual weightlifter lifting it. I've saw the study, and I've seen that study
Yes.
about if a weightlifter
Yes.
lifts the weight, and then you lift the weight in your mind the
Yeah.
same way, then the frequencies in the brain move and activate the same as if
Well,
you
it's
were doing
all
It's
it
as if you were
I
mentally
doing it.
or
believe.
physically.
That's
So
right.
You know, yeah, law of attraction advocates suggest that there are central universe principles that make up the law of attraction. And, like attracts like. Like this law suggests that similar things are attracted to one another. It means that people tend to attract people who are similar to them. But it also suggests that people's thoughts tend to attract them similar results. Negative thinking is contagious. But it works though. If you are a negative thinker, and you should know that negative situations, negative feelings, negative results, it will follow you. The law of attraction is that powerful, people. It's that powerful. Trust to think about that for a second. Think positive, positive results. Think negative, negative results. To attract similar results, negative thinking is believed to attract the negative experiences.
And then just
You
how
know,
much better would our society be,
mhm.
with our world be, with our families be? I mean, how
yes,
much more
Right,
peace
right,
would
right.
we all have if we choose to say, okay, I'm going to think differently about that, you know?
yeah.
Mm.
And that is an intentional thing.
But can I add? Add a
It's
question,
an
guys.
intentional thing for you to have to um, undo how
Right.
you've been conditioned.
Mhm.
I want to put a scenario out to you all,
Okay.
because I know that there are women, in particular, out there that have keep asking themselves, why do they seem to attract the same type of guy? And when they think that they're okay, they're not necessarily negative people or negative thinking, but they tend to attract the same type of guy. Can you guys answer why that is?
Well, one of the things that the first thing that comes to my mind is, why do I keep attracting the same type of guy? Or let's even take it further. No, we'll just stay with the same type of guy. It starts with the current mindset. It starts with how you approach other things. If things are okay to you, or they're palatable to you, then typically you will kind of roll with, just kind of what you're getting. If everything in your life, you've told yourself that I'm striving for the best with this report I'm turning into my job. I am striving to be the best I can be at this PTA parent meeting. I'm going to be a super parent, and I'm going to do all the things necessary to help little Johnny, in school and other kids. So when you think about your intent all the way around, if your relationship is intent is below par or below the average of what you normally think, which is pretty hard to do, but I'm just making an example, then that part of it you'll vibrate low. And basically what I'm saying is, if you vibrate high on everything that you attempt or that you try to do, you should be fine in attracting those type of individuals, because when your vibration is moving that fast, and then you're really, really concentrating on positive things and positive results, it is impossible to pick a companion that is not on the same wavelength. But when you have other things in your life that isn't as positive, and you constantly vibrate at a lower level. When I say vibrate at a lower level, I mean when you speak of things just in the, I don't know, and I'm so tired, and I'm not sure, and I'll just, those type of negative vibrating feelings and emotions trickle down into the same concept as you trying to find a mate.
That's
And
good.
Tereska, did I hit it on the
That's
nose?
good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got that because it's just like the key is what I see is if you can't vibrate at a high level thinking about relationships and all those other things, then don't think about those things. Stay in the area where you can stay at a high vibration. I mean, the job or those things that you can uh, offer great high positive vibrations. Those are the areas that you focus on. That's why You make your request known though of what it is you desire in a guy, in a man, or whatever. But don't focus on that. You just focus on those things that bring you high vibrations, or high energy, and good energy and good feelings, all that kind of thing.
Well, people hear about the law of attraction and how you do it and how does it go, how does it work. First off, you have to remove negative things from your life. You can make space for more positive things to take their place. You want to move all these things out the way, and it's based on the notion that once you're able to clean up the some of the low vibrating ideas, some of the low vibrating people around you. It is impossible. It's not possible to have a completely empty space in your mind and in your life. Since something will always fill that space, it's important to fill it, but just fill that space with positivity. Other people, proponents of this, say, psychologically, they say, that's not true, but you have all this time on your hands, or you have little time on your hands, and your job is really stressing you, but your thought pattern is the key to the law of attraction. You have to foster those extremely strong patterns of positive thinking. And one of the ways that we really dug into the law of attraction, and some of the tools you can use, is by vision boarding. And vision boarding, I tell you, is a fantastic arm that comes from the law of attraction. And I know, Tereska, I know you've been dying to speak about this. Can you just break it down? Because we're going to show people, and you get that 10-minute blurb on YouTube or wherever, the law of attraction and this and that. But what actually comes from the law of attraction, which is manifestation? So when you learn the law of attraction, think positive, put everything positive in your life, go out there and send vibes of love and gratitude. Well, then how do you what are the steps? How do you manifest this? And one of them is vision boarding.
Vision board, right? Vision boarding is essential physical manifestation of your goals. That's what it is. Essentially a physical manifestation of your goals. That's what a vision board is a way to manifest them. So I wrote some notes down. It involves, so what vision boarding is it involves collecting images or objects that speak to your future or to what you want to create in your future life, right? So what you do with your vision board is, once you've created your vision board, you want to put it in a space where you can actually see it and visualize it on a daily basis. So I want to give you some tips and some ideas on creating a vision board. How about that? Y'all interested in that?
They are interested in that, but first off, when you're putting together a vision board party, and I know Teresa, she's excited on this topic, but you want to invite your family and your friends first. Bring them along and try to get the group as intimate as possible. And do we want to discriminate? Yes, you do. You don't want to bring negative people into a high end, high energy event as a vision board party. But you get the correct people on your list. You get some of your really high vibrating friends and your family members, and you pull them together. And then like Tereska did us, she called all of us up one by one, and she gave us the topic, and she talked about what the theme was of the vision board party and how we all should go out and buy magazines and go buy books of interest. That we really wanted to manifest for ourselves. But I don't want to talk for you, but I want our audience to get every inch of how to set this up so they can start to manifest their own reality.
Or you can just do it for yourself. Let's just initially start for yourself. Because that's one thing you got to know. Visualization is one of the most powerful mind exercises that you can possibly do. Visualization. Just get that again. Visualization is one of the most powerful mind exercises that you can do. Okay, so when you're visualizing, and what that is you're emitting a powerful frequency out into the universe. That's what it does when you visualize. Okay, so some of the things that I try to do, did you have a question? Some of the things I try to do when I wanted to create my own vision board was create, you can buy a board or cork board or any type of board, that you
Mm-hmm.
like, and you purchase. I went and purchased magazines. I got I found images on online where I printed out and I cut out the pictures and all those kind of things. So make sure you have scissors, you have glue, you have different. You can have magnets, not necessarily magnets, but stickers. Those type of sticker things, and any little glitter, any type of thing you want to make your board feel make you feel good. So you want your
I had
board to
glitter
look,
all on my hands, just for the record.
huh?
I had glitter all on my hands, just for the
I
record.
So you want to purchase these in so you're putting images on this board that speak to your future. Basically, that's what it does. Is speak to the things that you want to create in your future.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then, secondly, you would kind of arrange your board in a way that is aesthetically pleasing, where you're reminded daily, where you say to you guys, I like putting on my board was something that made me feel good. Like I like eagles. Tosca mentioned eagles and chickens, so I would want to put an eagle on my board just so because I feel the power in an eagle. I feel the leadership in an eagle. So put something like that that will make you feel that way, or feel the way you want to feel. That leads you into the direction you want to go in.
You know,
Thirdly,
mhm.
I uh thirdly, once you have put your board together and you glued and you got the images that you want that you want your future to hold, and all the different, it didn't always have to be something that you it
Money.
didn't always have to be stuff, material stuff. It, like I said, it can be something that makes you feel good, like ocean, a body of water. Well, how do you feel with that? Does that make you feel good? Some people love the mountains, snow, just something that also that can elevate your vibration. So the third thing you do is you place this board in a space where you can see it regularly, daily, all the time. And what that does is when you see it, you visually, it's like an exercise. You're physically exercising your brain to visualize these things. And it's almost like lifting weights, like you're working on a certain muscle. So you're constantly visualizing it. You're constantly intentional about feeling a certain way and saying, this is mine every day every often every day, quite often every day you're looking at this thing. So you put it in a place where you can see it more. You don't want to create this board then store it behind your TV or behind a case somewhere. You don't want to do that. You want to place it somewhere that you can actually draw to it every day. It's an exercise, and if you can think of it, that's your physical weight, visualizing, then you can get to where you want to go. Period. Period.
Tosca, what are your thoughts on the vision board experience? And uh, have you ever created a vision board? And did it work for you?
Yeah. So I have, um created a vision board with our annual Tereska does this annual event, and she likes to do it around her birthday. And she does it, and she likes to bring in our the generation behind us, our kids.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's created this as a tradition, um, to teach, as a way to teach your kids and my kids and kids underneath us to be able to write the vision and make it
Make it
plain.
plain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think that's a good thing. Another friend of mine does a event. Tereska's been to it before. Cheryl Rosenborough, she does that event, and it's with business women and entrepreneurs to help us get in a space to where we are envisioning, what's next, for us career wise and in our business and things of that nature. So I think that, like I said, I think that, write the vision and make it plain. The Bible says that where there is no vision, the people perish. And so
Yes.
I think that it is critical for us to know where we're going and to visualize it and to see where we're going, and then to create the activation around, okay, what do I need? Tereska says
Mm-hmm.
it best. I mean, sometimes, you know, we're able to review, you could look at your vision board and you have it, around you in a place, maybe in your office. I have mine in my office. um, but it could have slipped and fallen behind file cabinet. Now that I think about it, but I know exactly where it is. But and what I don't do in my vision board, I don't put a whole lot of stuff, on it like that's not attainable. For me now in the stage where I'm in life, there are two things that I want. I want my health and I want my peace. And I feel like if I could have my health, I could make money.
Mhm.
Okay? And if I have my peace, I can maneuver and do the things that I need to do. But there are very simple things that I think that I want to be anchored in. My health. We have to envision good health. And what does that mean? We have to try our best to be intentional about the food that we're putting in our mouth, and moving our body and exercising and things of that nature. We got to snatch back. I heard my sister friend say today, she does this conversation on Mondays. She said, there's some things that we need to snatch back. Okay. And then she called it, this is Snatch Back Monday. So there's some things that we need to snatch back so that we can put in perspective when we're
Yes.
talking about the law of attraction, because we slip and there's some things that we have to snatch back and get back on track.
Right.
Sometimes
Well,
we,
let me.
off the rails.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you about my experience. My what is it? 3 years ago, 4 years ago, the first vision board we did party. What? How long has it been, Tereska?
The first one has been about 4 or 5 years.
Okay, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. My second board that I did, I believe, it's my second board. I put a beachfront property. Well, I put a property on there that was overlooking the ocean. I put a ton of spirituality goals. It's about 4 or 5 years ago. I put a number of spirituality goals I want to reach. I put money on my board. I put love on my board. I put healthy foods on my board, and I put. I think at the end of the day, I put just the closeness and the relationship with God. And what I did every single day, I envisioned myself in a beachfront property, and that actually happened. I envisioned myself with love in my heart, and I find myself working on that every day.
Yes.
I envision myself having a closer relationship with God. I think I've always had that relationship, but it's at an all-time high right now. I envision myself with money. Well, before that happened, I went through all the other steps, all the other processes of keeping my energy and my vibration high, always thinking positive, trying to keep light and love in my heart. And the byproduct of the work is money or things that you need to make you happy. Never, ever, ever, ever manifest money. Never do it.
Yeah.
You
The byproduct
always,
is the material things.
exactly, but you always try to use the law of attraction for things that you really, really want to do, your goals, your wants, your desires. And if you focus on those things, money is a byproduct. You create your own reality when you think. What you focus on is what you draw into your life. I suggest that what you believe will happen in your life, what does happen. Sometimes you have to, really, really look at things that are in your reach. Um, do not incorporate things that are too far out of the realm for you to achieve. In other words, the law of attraction works. And don't say, well, I tried to do $1 million and I was listening to Unwoke and they don't even know what they're talking about because I did it for a month. Well, you have to focus on things that are in your purview, that are right close to some of the things that you're already accomplished here while you're in this incarnation. So, for instance, I'm a construction executive, but I'm not trying to manifest, a jet, a $3 million jet. That's a little bit far from where I'm at right now. We have to really, really be real with ourselves on how we manifest. You have to manifest things that are very, very close, within grasp of you having. Of course, I can manifest have a million. But I don't do money. But what I do is I try to say to myself, I'm going to be the best executive in construction I can be. I'm going to be the best, author or writer I can be. I'm going to be the best energy healer I can be. Finances are a byproduct of that, and that's just how I've been. That's how I've done it in the past. But again, we have to understand that energy. Like energy, attracts like energy. Everything that you think about uh, is put out into space. And when you come in contact with another thought that's sort of close to your thought, they attract to one another. Energy attracts. And at some point, if you continue to stay on that track, if you continue to be that person that is focused on, I want to get this, I want a promotion on my job, I want a new house, I want my kids to be at the best school, you will then come in contact with people. You'll come in contact with situations. You'll come in contact with people who know people, and those inclinations, those thoughts, will start to manifest themselves. And when it happens, do not stop. Keep going. Tosca, what do you think?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's it. Don't stop. Keep going.
Yeah.
And because, like I said, you're going to manifest whatever it is that you're putting in.
Right.
You know,
Either
if
way.
you, I mean, that's why I have learned to not be a complainer. Learn to be
Oh my God,
thankful
I missed
and
that.
grateful. Learn to be able to look at the glass that is half full versus half empty. So, manifestation and the law of attraction, in my mind, has everything to do with perspective, because perspective can be, oh my God, I don't have, you know, this brand new house or what have you, but you have a house,
Well,
you
that's
know.
true. I
And
mean,
my thing is,
Perspective can be, I mean, because people align their, many times people are aligning their manifestations up with material things. I want to materialize money. I want to, I want to manifest. I want to be able to, be a millionaire or what have you. But again, at the end of the day, for me, I want to be able to have a spirit and a being that is healthy, and I think that all things can come out of that.
and
I
it,
think,
it, it can come out of that. And Teresa, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go
yeah, I think that Tusker, you hit the nail on the head. Is that how it goes? Anyway,
The
the
proverbial nail on the head.
yes, but you, because what all that is rooted in is trust and faith, and that peace that passes all understanding. That whole thing that's rooted in trust and faith and belief. That's what that's rooted in. So what comes from that, and let's not, I love the perspective idea, because
ahead.
when you have the perspective plus the tools that you're working with, the inner tools, the spirit man, the energy that you're working with, you can do all things through,
Yes.
you know what I mean, you can do it all, because because when you get the perspective of understanding the process, visualizing that process, when you get to know that process, it, that thing you can do to manifest
Mm-hmm.
the manifest things that you need, want, and desire in your life. When you get that process down, then if you gather the peace and the joy, unspeakable joy of it all, and just live life, it's coming. Just get ready.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I have to
I,
read this, Tereska. Hold,
It's coming.
I got to
go
read this, because this
ahead.
point, this point is exactly what Tereska. I have to read this.
Okay, go
Here
ahead.
it says, this is from this website that I've been studying, but it says one of the most poignant teachings of the Bible is this allusion towards seeking heaven within yourself instead of the external reality. Jesus was known to point to the fact that there is really no outside, but everything is within us. The authentic teachings of the law of attraction always talks about how the outer reality is nothing but a reflection of the inner reality. So what you see on the outside is what you
You
see
better say.
what's on the inside.
Yeah.
If you would
Wow.
stop and focusing so much on your current reality and spend more time visualizing the
Yes.
kind of reality that you want, it will bring you inner peace and place you in alignment with your desires.
Yes.
Instead of seeking satisfaction from the external reality, focus on the inner peace of being. And that scripture that he talks about is the kingdom of heaven lies within.
Yeah. The
You
one
know,
thing
I
that I
was,
want to say, I want to get this out so I can just, because this is so good. Yeah, this is so
yeah.
good. This is good stuff here.
Well, come
Because
on, sister.
people struggle with that whole thing. They visualize and they say, "Oh, if it ain't nothing happening." But one thing you gotta know that if you got everything, God has given you everything that you need is on the inside.
Yep.
He's only there
He's a
because
creator.
and then we're creators. He's created us to create. So we're only there to maneuver our way, and we're here on earth to maneuver our way through this earth in a pattern where he wants us to be abundant in. He wants
Yeah.
us to live the highest level that we can on earth because he wants us to figure that whole thing out. And he's given us all the tools we need. And the one exercise he's told us is the best exercise to use is visualization. That's the one thing that's going to manifest for you if you can grab hold of that. If you can get your visualization and your brain in shape, if you can get that in shape, in tip top shape, along with your belief, and then the peace that passes it all. To sit back and relax and just enjoy and be grateful. That's where peace comes from, Tosca.
And
It's rooted in gratitude.
that's right,
It's
Kristen. It says, when you stay in this peace,
right.
your vibration will move up to match that of your desires.
Exactly.
And this
Because
will directly lead you to attract them into your reality. The
yes.
kingdom of heaven lies within.
Yes. It's
Well,
joy, unspeakable joy, is faith, and is also the work. With faith without work is dead. It's also the work in visualizing and doing the work. That's where it is.
and we're getting feedback from some of the listeners. That is true. Reality is inner and not external. But I guess what I heard you guys saying is, be grateful, visualize your goals, look for the positives in situations, learn how to identify negative thinking, use positive affirmations.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about affirmations, but they are very, very important. I can remember back in college when I was starting my journey, and I remember, Tereska, you sent me affirmations of faith, but that was the very beginning of understanding how to train my mind to be this person and to attract these things in my life that I wanted. Affirmations of faith are very important. Tereska, can you speak to that?
Yeah, affirmations of faith are very affirming a thing. You decreeing a thing. You're declaring a thing. I mean, you're speaking into yourself. You're speaking into others. That's why people can affirm negativity in a person. So you speak. Whether you're speaking into yourself or you're speaking to others, you beware of that because there's power in the tongue as well. There's power in what we say, and there's power in what we speak. There's power there.
Well, let me
So
reset real quick. You're listening to I'm Woke. I'm your host, Jason Medlock. You can listen to a rebroadcast of this at www.jasonmedlock.com. We're also live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. YouTube channel is Jason Medlock. But Tereska, we talked about identifying. Well, we hadn't talked about identifying, but what about identifying negative thinking and use positive affirmations to reframe negative events?
right.
While the law of attraction, may not be an immediate solution for all life challenges, it can help you learn to cultivate a more optimistic outlook on your life.
Right. If you can use affirmations to shift the way you feel, to shift the way you think. I mean, you can use those as tools as well to shift things in your. If you're battling negativity, because there's some people who just battle in that area, in depression or whatever you're in. Use affirmations to help bring you out.
Yeah.
But Tosca, negative situations but you always put a positive spin, and that is really you. There has been a number of quote unquote low vibrating things, situations that you dealt with,
Life,
adversity, life, and,
life,
and life,
life is
life
happening.
throws it to you. But you know what I notice about and I admire about, my sisters, and particularly I'm speaking of Tosca,
Yes.
is the way that you can frame a positive narrative over very bad situations.
Yeah.
Can you sort of bring our audience up to speed on how you can keep your vibration that high in the turmoil
First,
that the human eye sees?
Yeah.
I tell you, for a believer of Christ, I believe in Jesus. I do. And and at the end of the day, for me, it's either you're going to believe or not. Either you're going to
Mm,
trust the word or you're not.
mm,
Um, the Bible in Proverbs says that as a man thinks in his heart,
mm,
so is he. Okay. So, regardless of what life brings us, because life happens, there are things that's going, life happens. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, to whom it may happen to, how it may happen, or what have you. But what we do know is who holds tomorrow.
Yeah.
mm.
And so, if my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus Christ and righteousness,
Come on.
see, y'all helping me write my speech the other
Mm.
day. If we just believe and we know that our hope is in a higher power, a higher being,
Yes.
then it's nothing to it but to believe it. So whatever comes or may, the tragedy of death that's unexpected, the tragedy of losing a loved one,
Mm.
to incarceration, the tragedy of raising kids when, I think of my sister-in-law Karen that had to raise, her sons when my brother unexpectedly passed. The tragedy of having to cope with what life brings.
Mm.
It has to be rooted in what you say you believe. And I pity the people who don't believe in anything. You don't have to believe what I believe. But for people who don't have a belief in anything other than your limited self,
Yeah.
that's concerning for me.
Spiritual
Because
effects.
because
I'm sorry,
those
go ahead.
because that is a that's I can show you, if I can show you the limitations of a person if you're only relying on your own strength,
Yeah.
because it cannot be so. So I extend beyond the break of a rope.
Mm.
I reach beyond the break
Yeah.
because God gives me the strength to do so.
Yeah.
But do we look at the spiritual effects the law of attraction may produce, not the results? Because it taps into people's spirituality. Spirituality itself is connected to a variety of health
Yeah, for
benefits.
me, my spirituality, my relationship with Christ informs my affirmations. Okay. So it informs my law of attraction. So my
Mm.
spirituality and my relationship with Christ informs the law of attraction that we speak of, because I am speaking the law of attraction based on what I know the word of God to say.
And as you elevate, health benefits including reduced stress, better health position, it lowers depression, and we're better for it overall.
Absolutely.
Our well-being is even raised. Many people believe this philosophy works by aligning with God or the universe, with our wishes. This notion suggests that people are, all made of energy, and that
Because at
energy
the end of the day,
operates at
who has
different
control of what?
frequencies.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Well,
know what I'm saying? Who's got
well,
control?
we're all made of energy,
Yeah.
energy operates at different frequencies. We have to understand that frequencies attract. Law of attraction, and
Right.
we, and getting yourself in that mindset, getting yourself in, with positive affirmations every day, starting to envision where you want to be in, like, on a consistent basis, because because of this, I mean, it's important to change the frequency. of energy with positive thoughts. You have to change those frequencies, especially gratitude for what we have already, have. Being grateful, showing, a lot of love and a lot of appreciation. You should give gratitude to water. You should give gratitude for the air we're breathing. You should give gratitude to Mother Earth, the earth we're living on.
Yes.
Gratitude for whatever we already have. I said that before, but by using grateful, positive thoughts and feelings, and by focusing on your dreams rather than our frustrations, we can change the frequency of our vibration. We can change the frequency of our energy. And the law of attraction brings positive things into our lives. Y'all, listen to me now. What
Say
we
that again,
attract
Jason, by focusing on your dreams.
by focusing on your dreams, by focusing on your energy, your frequency really is what you're emitting out. The frequency of love, the frequency of pure energy, the frequencies that you're sending out there, they attract and they coalesce around each other.
Right.
I mean, what we attract depends on where and how we focus our attention. But we must believe that it's already ours or soon will be. You have to believe that. Better well-being utilizing the law of attraction may also bring about positive impacts on mental well-being.
Yep.
Think
Well,
about that. Better
That's right.
well-being utilizing the law of attraction
yes.
may also bring about positive impacts on mental well-being by focusing on attaining a new reality.
Absolutely.
And by believing it's possible, we tend to take more risks, notice more opportunities, and open ourselves up to new possibilities. Conversely, when we don't believe that something is in our realm of possibility, we tend to let it go.
That's
We,
right.
we tend not to want to do it, but we have to believe that nothing is out of the possibility. It all starts with building a foundation of positive thinking. I've been able to do this I've been able to do this for at least 20 plus years. And I've been out of college for a long time, but I started this in college. I started this road to shaping my thoughts. Sometimes, it is in the realm of possibilities. I'm telling y'all, it is in the realm of possibilities for us. We tend to let opportunities pass us by unnoticed, and we can't let opportunities pass us by, and especially unnoticed. When we believe we don't have a chance to do something or we don't deserve good things, we behave in ways that sabotage our chances of happiness. We cannot afford to not believe that we should have good things in life. We're sabotaging ourselves, people. By changing our self-talk and our feelings about life, we reserve negative patterns. You can't hold these patterns in yourself forever. You have to have some sort of paradigm shift. Patterns in our life, patterns in our lives, and the way we create. If you start to become a more creative, a person who's always out front, you will start to see things change in your life. Can you guys give me an amen? Can you back me up on some of this?
Well,
Amen.
yeah. I
Can
mean,
I just
remember,
say one
Jason, the
thing?
first thing that we talked about on our first show was
Uh-huh.
that stinking thinking.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
let me and you know what, I'm gonna end with the same thing that we had at that show, with my point anyway, is all of it, you guys, all of it is rooted in the one and only powerful love.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's all rooted. Stems from love. So
Yes.
if you want to find a positive way of doing, if you want to find gratitude, find love first. Find love for yourself. Find love for you. For just start loving yourself. Find love, like Jason said, love for the earth, love for the things that are around you. Find love for other people. Just find that love, that unconditional type of love, not that just fake. Oh, I'm gonna love. It's sometimes it has to be unconditional. It has to be supernatural. Let me
And
put it that way.
you said
Unconditional
unconditional.
love is supernatural love. Okay.
You said unconditional love, and that really, really hits home. But one of our faithful listeners, who's also starting to move into her spiritual journey, and that's D. D said, "Tosca, what are you reading from? Because obviously it's touching her, and it
Yeah.
was powerful."
So D, there's a website that I study, and it's called Out of Stress, like leaving out of stress, like outofstress.com.
Mhm.
And it has biblical verses that are related to the law of attraction.
Yes.
And so that's a site that I have been studying from, and that's where I was reading that, and it's number 3 on that site where it says the kingdom of heaven lives within. That's where I was reading that passage from. So yeah, so it's outofstress.com.
One good thing leads to another. Okay, and the direction of any life can shift. From a downward spiral to an upward ascent. So things can change, things can pick up, things can always move in another direction, but it all starts with your mindset and how you are prepared to make that paradigm shift. And for us, a minute ago, you were just talking about, and I was talking about it too, but gratitude. People, gratitude is important. Gratitude in itself can raise your vibration. And when you start to think about things that you want to manifest, then with the level of gratitude that you've given to all these beautiful things that are around us every day, that very, very, very notion of love raises your vibration and it allows you to move into whatever direction in your life you want to move in. I am such a firm believer in this. I've been doing this so long. And a minute ago, you said unconditional love. I just attained my certificate. I'm officially a galactic energy healer. That is something that is, yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you
Congratulations.
very much. The energy healing thing is something that I'm very fascinated with. And also, there's something called Reiki energy healing. And galactic energy healing and Reiki energy healing are two peas in a pod, but you do them a little bit differently. And I'm going to do a show on energy and how we can use it to heal. But one of the that's just one of our spiritual tools. But the way I'm able to achieve a lot of these things and use energy to heal personality disorders, injuries, anything that could be bothering you psychologically, depression, a lot of those things we do treatments for. But the one thing that powers all of it is the sense of gratitude. The sense of gratitude. It helps me be able to move into any direction I want to. And I'm not here to say I got a Ferrari and I done bought me a new house. No, no. I can move in any direction that I want because simply I believe.
Amen.
And simply I am.
Oh.
Amen.
One good thing leads to another, and the direction of life can shift from a downward spiral into an upward ascent. And I said that a minute ago.
Yeah.
You have to know that, one deed, one day at a time, one thought, one day at a time, one affirmation, one day at a time. And you keep building and you keep building and you move out of that negative space and you stop feeling sorry for yourself, but you start feeling proud of yourself. You start feeling uplifted. You start looking at the same people who look at you as if you're nobody. And in your mind and in your heart, I'm everything I need. I'm all that I need. And really, really, really practice affirmations of faith. And those are very, very important. But Tereska, you were about to say something, I cut you off.
Well, I was just going to gratitude. I would like to leave with the audience the opportunity to practice a certain thing. One thing you can do, if you can just say grateful, just saying gratitude lifts your spirit. I mean, I don't care if you feel like you're a positive person. If you say grateful and I'm grateful for and I'm gratitude, it lifts you even higher and higher. So that's another exercise I'd like to challenge you all to start using, even within your affirmations. Put grateful in front of it. I'm grateful that I am,
Yes.
I'm grateful that I am. So start creating those exercises and enhance and raise your vibrations. And that alone is going to start your day better. That alone is going to get you into some better positions. I guarantee it, really.
So I want to leave my end of point with you guys. And I had a client, her name is Lizzie Morris, and she is an inspirational speaker. She's a trainer. She's a successful businesswoman and entrepreneur. one of her passion projects was affirmations, and she wrote a cute little book that you could get on Amazon. It's really, it's a cute book, and it's called Affirmation Smoothies because she loves
Oh
smoothies.
wow. All right.
And so, and it's a book about speaking with intention to change your life.
Mm,
Okay, because right now I do believe that it's someone out there
mm,
that want to change their life.
Yeah.
They want to change their mindset. They
Yes.
want to change their situation
Yeah.
that
mm.
they try to change. They don't know how to change.
Right.
They've done the things that they can do beyond themselves. But I want to challenge you to get you some resources, whether it's affirmation smoothie, whether you go to that website I just named, outofstress.com, and list all of those biblical references to the law of attraction, put it on a postcard, color code them, do whatever you need to do. Plop them on a poster board, or put them on your bathroom mirror, put them in your car. You
You
know,
like Demi?
every time you get someplace, you know, uh, that you flip your visor down on your car, and there's an affirmation there reminding you to speak with intention over your life. Speak with
Mm.
intention over your children's lives,
Yeah.
over your loved ones' lives. And that is a space for me. I mean, I am, sometimes you got to break some curses off your mind.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, there's some stinking thinking that you got to break off of your mind, and the only way you could do that is acknowledge and say that, you know what, I've been in a very depressed and negative state in terms of how I speak to myself.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it,
Mm.
put that information out there so that you can reverse it.
This is the stinking thinking show. I love I love it when you do it. It just it's but I want to Tereska, before I close it out, do you have anything else to add? And you may after I close it out with some tips and some people to use, but go ahead if you have anything else.
No, I don't have. I pretty much wanted to end it with, just having people to remind themselves that gratitude and love, rooted in love, is the way to go, is the initial way to move forward
It
in your
is it is
journey,
the
spiritual
it
journey.
is the only way to move forward is to
Mhm.
experience gratitude and love. But, I want to thank you guys. I want you guys to hang around for a little bit, but let's talk about more tips and tricks that we can use for the law of attraction. Some exercises. There are some exercises that can help you learn to put the law of attraction into practice in your own life. Some ideas include, journaling, writing down your thoughts can help you better learn to recognize your habitual thought patterns to see whether you tend towards optimism or pessimism, and learn about changing negative patterns or thoughts. Make a big vision board. We talked about that, creating a vision board, a reminder to uh, uh, help you maintain a positive mindset, stay focused, stay motivated, and focus on your goals. Practice acceptance instead of focusing on what is wrong about the present or what needs to be changed. Work on accepting things as they are. And this doesn't mean that you have to continue to work towards a better future. It just means that you won't get bogged down, by wishing for things to be different right now. You have to practice positive self-talk. If you're struggling with being overly self-critical, set a goal to engage in positive self-talk each day. Over time, this may come much more easily, and you find that it is harder to maintain a negative mindset. And some of the potential pitfalls, one problem with books such as The Secret, as well as some people's interpretation of the law of attraction is that it suggests that it's a belief that good things will come to us that will bring us all what we desire without any sort of action behind that. And that is not true. You have to put action behind it. It's the optimistic viewpoint that drives a negative narrative. But I want to share, some of those thoughts with you tonight. And we are ecstatic to be able to share content like this at this level. my beautiful sisters, Tosca and Cheruska. Thank you for the contributions you gave tonight, and we will see you guys next week. Take care of yourself, and God bless you. I'm Jason Medlock. You're listening to the I'm Woke, and you have a blessed day. Thank you so much.